2024 has been an amazing year for gaming. There's been so many well-received releases from multiple genres. It seems like fans of all types are winning this year. But yet, there's always that one game that stands out to you, that sticks with you throughout the entire year. And today, I wanted to bring a special focus as to what that game was for me, what my personal game of the year is. Now this is definitely going to be biased as it's my personal game of the year, not what I think is objectively the best game of the year. And there's also the fact that I've only played 2 games released in 2024, but that's besides the point. I truly believe that this game captured everything I wanted from a AAA release in 2024. From story to gameplay to the world to the characters and everything else. This game is none other than...
It's upon us. The reunion, when worlds merge. Good, Aerith. Pray.
What happened to this place?
The world's ending. That's what everyone's saying.
Fire! Cloud, bring me the black materia.
Cloud, whatever happens, I'm here for you.
If you didn't already know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a sequel to 2020's Final Fantasy VII Remake and the second game in the Remake trilogy. This game covers the remaining portion of Disc 1 of the original game. If you didn't already know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a sequel to 2020's Final Fantasy VII Remake and the second game in the Remake trilogy. This game covers the remaining portion of Disc 1 of the original game. I won't be going super in-depth, detailed review of this game as I do want to avoid spoilers, and I just want to focus on what made this game so special to me and why it's my personal game of the year. Rebirth picks up where Remake ends, with the crew leaving Midgard in search of Sephiroth. The game specifically starts off with the Nibelheim flashback scene. This section of the game was released as a demo before release, but I personally didn't play it or fully experience it until the full game was released. And the main reason why I love this opening so much is for the first time ever we were given a chance to play as the Sephiroth. Even the original Final Fantasy VII game, he was a party member that was uncontrollable, and he was super OP in there, and he is super OP here. Being able to see a specific moveset in the special synergy attacks he does with Cloud will never get old. This really added a breath of fresh air to this section of the game, as this is something that's been rethrown through the Final Fantasy VII compilation a lot of times, and I mean a lot. If you're a Final Fantasy VII fan, you definitely know that. If you don't know what the Final Fantasy VII compilation is, it's essentially all Final Fantasy VII series of media, including other games and pieces of media. Examples are the Advent Children movie, Dirge of Cerberus PS2 game. After this retelling, Cloud and the game have to lay calm due to Shinra forces raiding the city. Deciding to follow the Black Robes, they leave the city and enter the unknown. This is when you're first introduced to the actual world of Final Fantasy VII. This was the moment I knew this was my game of the year. Seeing this world inflicted a feeling with me, something I had never really felt before with video games. This was the oh shit moment. Final Fantasy VII Remake was a very linear experience, and here this game just drops you off in this huge, humongous world. There's so much more choice and agency in what you get to do. It felt endless, and it truly was. The rest of the game did a fantastic job of adapting the rest of Disc 1. The only differences being mostly towards the end of the game. I won't go over the rest of the game because I want to avoid spoilers and also again focus on what made this my game of the year. The combat was a perfect evolution of what Remake had created. There was heavy emphasis and expansion on the synergy system first introduced into Intergrade DLC. This system allowed for so many more combat options as well as giving more strategy. The party's toolkit heavily increased with the system, and it's going to be tough for Part 3 to take this combat system to the next level. My favorite addition has got to be the synergy attacks you do with other party members. They're these huge over-the-top cutscene attacks, and I love them so much. There are also effects that these attacks do, like give unlimited MP or add a third ATB slot temporarily, and that just gives and adds so much more depth to the combat system. It's really amazing. I will say, the characters in this game carried hard. They had a relationship status system that would either go up or down depending on what actions you would take during cutscenes or how many side quests you would do with the character. Speaking of side quests, these are definitely better than what was in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Each side quest now has its own main character besides Cloud that it focuses on, and this is really nice as you get to see a lot of nice moments between Cloud and the other character throughout these side quests. And I really like, there's a reason for why this whole relationship system exists, but again, I won't go into spoilers because I want to avoid that. Without a doubt, the most controversial part of the game was the ending. I promise that this would be spoiler-free, so I won't go in depth, but I feel given the circumstance that the development team is in, it makes sense as to what we were given. I think it's also fair to not judge without seeing the whole picture, as this is only the middle section of a 3-part trilogy, and therefore it's not the whole entire story, so we still have a lot of unknown elements. And yeah, for these reasons, I believe this is what made Final Fantasy VII Rebirth stay with me throughout the whole year. This experience was truly like none other. I played the game during spring break, and that was all I did. I spent the whole entire week playing, and I almost did finish it within a week, but it truly was without a doubt one of the best gaming experiences I've had of not only this year, but of all time. I will say that Sonic X Shadow Generations ended up being one of my favorite games of all time, but I believe that for what this game does in terms of being a remake of Final Fantasy VII, the original game, and how fast this game released and all of that stuff, I believe that this is my personal game of the year for 2024. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. This is technically my first video on this channel, and I'm kind of rushed to get it out in time for New Year's. So sorry if the quality of the content isn't the best. In the future, I hope on covering more video games I previously played before, and not necessarily doing a super deep dive into them, but more going into specific reasons as to what stood out to me about these games and why those reasons made the game special for me. Again, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a happy new year.